Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Strong Inside and Out, where we talk about all of the things about being a strong woman, not just on your inside, but your outside and all the way around, even your mindset. So this week, I am super excited to have three of the co-authors in our book Unleash Her with me. These women are amazing. I cannot tell you how emotionally charged I was after reading their chapters and talking with them throughout this whole process. I feel like we've become fast friends, and one of them has our book up right now, and super excited. It's so beautiful. I don't know, ladies, but today with me, I have CJ Boyd, Andra Annette, and Bella Bliss. So welcome, ladies.
Hi, thank
Welcome.
you for having
Hi.
us.
Absolutely. So, Bella, you have our book up and it is beautiful. I don't know
It
about
sure
you all, but
is.
I opened the box. I was like, it took my breath away, I think, because then it became real, right?
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely.
So,
We are 4 of 30 authors.
yes,
So
we
we
are.
have another 30 authors that have stepped into their power and are sharing their story. So yeah, we're so happy that you're here.
Absolutely. So, ladies, do you want to take a minute and just give a brief introduction of yourself? My listeners know me, but just so I know y'all are posting this, I'm Cheri Dixon. I am a life coach and educational consultant, and my company is A Girl and Her Dog because after I went through some adversity in my life, I found the love of my life. He is an 85-pound chocolate lab pit bull, and he is my unofficial therapy dog. I just cannot tell you. So it just made sense for us to be a girl and her dog.
I love that.
Love that.
So awesome. All right, I'll go. I'm CJ. I am a former cafe owner, operator, wife, mom of 7, turned intern, online entrepreneur because I was forced with the opportunity to pivot in my life and I didn't know what I was going to do. And I figured out that I had to rely on myself. I couldn't have other people tell me what was going on. So I turned to the online space and I'm a mindset manifestation coach. And I'm just unleashing my Queen by Design coaching containers. So I'm super excited about that.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Welcome, CJ.
Okay, I guess I'll go next. Hi, everybody. I am Andra Annette, and I am a nurse by day and a nutritionist all days. I am a weight loss expert, and I focus on gut health, hormones, and autoimmune disease. I started really wanting to help more people when I was able to reverse my own disease processes through better health and lifestyle changes. So that's what I aim to do. So thanks for having me.
Wonderful. And I was just saying to Andra, I was just so impressed. She was on a podcast recently with the She Rises Studios talking about the importance of health and wellness and how it's not just a fad diet and not just an overnight type of thing, but really a lifestyle. And that's truly what I believe in and talk about here on the podcast. So, Andra, woohoo, you go, girl.
Yay.
Thank you.
Hi, I am Bella. Thank you so much for having me. I am a transformational and empowerment coach, and I too am very much into like functional medicine. I really love Chinese traditional medicine. I just love doing things in a holistic way. In fact, I just did a live today and I talked about high blood pressure and how I refuse to take the pills because I know that the body, our own body, can heal itself. But there's a lot of things that we need to do to help de-stress ourselves so that we're not feeling and going through the symptoms because it's a whole spiral after that if you're not taking care of your health. So, as I said, I'm a transformational and empowerment coach. I work with divorced women and I help them thrive. And it's also divorced women specifically without children. That's who I am. And we had just talked about how important it is that we have gone through that particular experience and are able to help others. So that's what I do. And I dive deep into personality because that's one of the ways that I feel that we could really find our true authentic self. And I am all about the alignment of body, mind, spirit, soul. So, and in my experience, in my chapter in the book, I talk about how I found how the soul only knows love. And so that is the premise of my teaching is about love, our passion, and what sets our soul on fire, and how important it is for us to really know ourselves so that we can shine our light out to the world for others. So I think that's so important that we learn our personality and really I teach how to stay or to get to a high vibe and stay there because as you know, the happy drugs of life, the serotonin, the oxytocin, the dopamine, the endorphins, those are what's going to help us get to where we want to be in our dreams and our manifestations and everything that we want to do we can once we start raising our vibration high. It's not only what we ingest, but it's also what we take in. But it's also what I was thinking just today is it's not what we're looking for on the outside of us, but what we're looking for inside of us. So anyhow, that's a lot about my teaching, but that's where it all comes from. It's because the soul only knows love, and we need
And
to honor ourselves.
none of those hormones are working if you don't incorporate lifestyle and diet. So
Yes,
Exactly.
you need to
it's
do
all
self-care,
encompassing.
self-care.
Yes.
And you know, guys, I love that, Bella, because I think having conversations with all of you, I know CJ and I even had some messages going back and forth at one point. Just that whole being strong on the inside, like you said, you know, we think about, and society is so, I have a daughter, she's amazing. My daughter is like my greatest gift of life and beautiful and talented and just smart and wonderful. And she went through an eating disorder in her late teens. And, you know, I think it's a lot of just the outside pressures and the worry of what is only on the outside. So being strong, both on the inside and outside is important, our health, of course, but then having that mindset of, you know, I can do this. And Bella, your energy is just so positive, and reading your chapter and just knowing what you've gone through. And, you know, we all know people in our lives who've been in your situation, I'm sure. And just to have such a positive mindset is just amazing. So I applaud you.
Oh, thank you so much. I also wanted to for us to share with everyone about the book and a woman coming into her power and what that's been like for all of you. So yeah, thank you, Cheri. It's so sweet.
Absolutely. Yeah, so let's talk about, you know, we've been talking about impact and how this is having such a huge impact on the world. I have to tell you all a funny story. The books came in for me on Thursday, this past, or no, Wednesday night. And so Thursday, I had two of my teachers who wanted a copy. So I have them in my hands and I'm, you know, walking around school. Of course, I'm the boss. So they all love me and adore me, and they have to be nice to me, right? You know, whether they're being truthful or not, I don't know. But one of our district admin people was over, and she's like, "What do you have there in your hand? That's such a pretty cover." And I said, "Oh, by the way, I'm part of a book." And she was like,
Aw.
"What?" And I said, "Yeah, look." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're a real author." And I said, "Oh, not just an
You're a
author.
real author.
I'm a best-selling author." And she said,
International.
yeah, I mean,
So
it was
cool.
just amazing. And she says, "Wait a minute, was this on the news or something? Like not here local?" And I said, "I know that our publishers and founders of She Rises Studios have been on a lot of broadcasts. And she said, I think I read about this, or I think I heard about this. So, that's kind of ironic that it's already having that kind of impact. And we know that we just want to build on that and make such a difference for everyone. So, yeah, that was pretty impactful. How about y'all? Have you had any interesting experiences so far?
I think it's funny for me, like, I did live when I opened my book or
Yeah,
opened my
it was
box, and it was
awesome.
also one of those things where I would tell people that I was going to be an author. But I've told people that my whole life because it's been a childhood dream, and they're like, yeah, whatever, whatever. And so I would bring up the picture of the book on my phone when I was talking to people, like, oh my God, you have to tell me where I can get it. And so I was listing off all the places that it's available, and they're like, oh my God, it's real. You're not just talking and telling us that you're
Anymore.
doing something. It's really real. So then a lot of them, I like snapped a picture and I sent it to them, and they're like, oh my God, you truly walk the walk. When you say you're going to do something, you manifest it and it's there. So that meant something to me. Like, it was, people were really seeing the reality of, if you want something and you say you're going to do it and you take the steps to get there, that you can actually get there and do it. And I just have this thing where everybody's like, oh, you're the small town girl, whatever. And I'm like, I'm a small town girl, but I'm going to make global impact. So I'm super excited that hundreds of thousands of women are going to read this book and our stories, and just going to totally change lives.
I agree. I agree. And I'm always that dreamer mentality. People must think I'm out of my mind. When I decided I was going to be a nutritionist, people like, but you're already a nurse. I said, but that's not the same as a holistic practitioner. So here I go. And when I told people about the book, they kind of gave me the same reaction, like you were saying, your friends, and they were like, yeah, all right, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I had the book and I was like, do you want to see my book? They were like, you really did this? Wow, you said you were going to do it, and you stuck to it. And then when I see the impact it is, and and I loved reading everybody else's stories, and that's what really made it real for me, what the impact was going to be globally, because everybody shared so openly, earnestly about what they went through. And this is like a really a guide to help people get through things, and to really like take it in and say, you know what, maybe you're not okay, but you can be. There's other people that got it through, and we had someone in our group had shared a story that someone was having difficulty being alone and didn't go out to eat, and had the courage to get up and go out to eat. She saw the book, and that sparked something in her, and she got the book and went out to eat and read the book. And
That's awesome.
I was like, wow. So I mean, this is definitely a part of my life I'm really proud of, because anytime that you can influence and impacts other people that is going to benefit them in a positive way, why not? Well, who wouldn't want to be a part of something that grand, right?
Absolutely.
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 I
I
love it.
think the one thing too that I just want to say, I read like 4 of you guys' chapters this morning, and the emotions that it invoked in me alone.
Mhm.
And I was like, I could see pieces of their stories in myself. And just to know that there's 30 different women in here, whoever reads it's going to, associate or see themselves in one of the stories, or bits and pieces of it. And just the tools that I've already picked up in just reading 4 chapters this morning, I'm just like, it's going to change my life, because these are things that are easy tools that I can implement right now that are going to totally change how I look at things. So I just think that it's so impactful, the different stories, but the tools, and like everybody can relate to it's on a level that's so just like coming home to yourself.
It's funny you say that, CJ, because I will say, I was talking to my teachers one day when I first got back to school this year, and I was telling them, I think Hannah had said something in one of our meetings about, if y'all find that you want to write your own book, or you want to do another anthology. And immediately my head is going, because one of my goals in life is to really impact the teaching profession. It's so difficult right now, and we don't have the best, I don't want to say reputation, but people are so particular about so many things and so sensitive. But I was telling them, what if we all wrote something together about, and I know CJ, you and I have talked about this, about, what made us decide to go into the teaching profession. And I said to my staff, there was about 12 of them there, and I said, one of them said, I don't think I can write. And I said, you teach, you story tell all the time.
Right.
We can help each other with the actual grammar and the mechanics and all of that. I said, but you have stories to tell. You have something inside of you. And just the whole process of this not only has had impact on people around us, but it's had an impact on me as well. Just my belief in myself, and just continues to know that if you dream it, you can accomplish
You
it,
can do.
Yes. See,
I
even when I accepted the challenge of the book, I said, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And I got off the phone with Heather, and I was like, oh my God, what did I get myself into?
what am I doing?
Can I really do this? Oh my God, what was I thinking? And I kind of had that feeling and I remember sitting down that first day and said, listen, you just got to do this. Sit down, shut everything off, and tell your story. How difficult could it be? So it wasn't easy. When I thought about someone else reading it, that was probably the hardest part. Not the actual words, because we all remember what that was like. You can feel that still. Anything that really triggered pain or hurt or an emotion in us, any kind of emotional response, we could always go back and recall, because those memories stay. They're not so easy to get rid of. So it was very easy to recall that. It was just really articulating it in words that people could understand the power behind the pain or whatever we were going through. I think that was the most difficult part for me.
Yeah.
I think yeah, I agree. I think it's one thing to have your perception and feel the feelings, and it's another thing to express that in a way that people can really relate and connect with. And I feel kind of weird saying I wrote this story a year ago because I was supposed to be in a different book, and that book didn't come into fruition. So when it came down to this book, I was one of the late ones that came in. And honestly, I didn't even know what the book was about. I just heard Unleash Her, and I wanted to be in a book. I really wanted to, make it happen in a sense. So I shouted out to the universe, I'm going to help women through my books. And I want to go on book tours, and I want to travel, and I want to, do all these things. And then Nicole pops in my inbox. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh. And there was 3 book offers. And so I talked to Nicole, and I was like, this is exactly what I wanted for the first book. This is exactly what I wanted. And the reason why I started doing the book, I never thought I would be an author. My friend approached me and she said, hey, we've got this really great deal. So that's why I went into the first book. But since that never came into fruition, when this one came around, I'm like, okay. And I thought I would be writing my book as I am today, not a year ago, right? So I thought I was going to write a brand new chapter. And so I'm sitting on the plane and I'm writing all this stuff, and I'm like, gosh, this is just boring. You know? And it's not because my life was boring, it's just because it didn't really have that passion that I needed for me to feel good about being in a book. So I was in between a couple of travel for the month, and I said, oh my gosh, just get real with yourself, Bella. Just, use that chapter that you wrote, because everyone's read it, and, I feel good with it. And I said, just use that chapter. And then we had a meeting and with all of our authors, and they talked about how it's a woman coming into her power. That's what the Unleash Her is all about. And I'm like, thank God, you know. So I just said to myself, get real with yourself, just turn in the chapter, it's all good. You don't really have time or the energy to do a new chapter. And I'm so glad that I did that because it's perfect for the book. It's perfect for who I stand for, you know, what I am and how I help. And I just feel like a great relief that I am with all of you amazing women to support each other, because this is exactly the way that I imagined it in the first place. So for that first book not to work out, that's one of the things that I talk about is embrace mystery, because we never know what's going to happen. And they promised for us to be an international, well, maybe not international, but a bestseller. And so here, everything came into fruition as soon as I was clear with the universe and shared what I wanted to do, and it's all happening. And I think for the listeners, I think it's important for us to say that it's not all about, because I know when people are in books, they just talk about the book all the time. And it's not about the book or the person. We were proud and we're excited for ourselves, but it's more so, and I could feel like the whole collective of this book and all the authors, and what Hannah said. Hannah and Adriana are the founders of She Rises, where our book is from, where our book was birthed. And for us as a collective, and I think someone even just mentioned that it is a movement for women's empowerment. And I am just so excited and happy and proud. And I know that I'm in the right place. And I'm also in the right place of my life, because a year ago, I don't think I was fully healed from all of this. And I've really pushed myself to get the healing that I need, because I felt guilt. I felt guilt that there was an old Bella out there that was still, you know, suffering and angry at me for not being there for her. And I did get help on that. So, oh, so for your listeners to know, I was in a narcissistic abusive relationship. Narcissistic abuse isn't always physical, but mine was. So I felt like mine was physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, financial, and it took me a little while to get through it. But just for people to know that, you know, it's, I call it the strength of the human spirit, that we're all worth it, and and I believe that what is it? Joy. I was thinking hope, but hope, to give you the hope that joy is our birthright, and we all deserve that, all of us. And I feel like with all of us as a collective, it's just showing people we're not anything, like we're not super women. We're not like, you know, what Andra was talking about, like the big speakers and all of that. We're not. We're just people from sometimes small towns, big towns, and you know, different experiences, different countries, different backgrounds, telling different stories. And that's just to show how powerful our story is. So everybody has it in them, even if they don't have the technology or they don't think they're good writers, they have the story. And then I love, you know, what Cheri shared, is because we do, and we are important, and we can change the world in the sense of sharing who we are. So we're all working on ourselves, and we just shared how we've overcome certain things. But I love the way that we support one another, because anytime that we're feeling low or insecure about anything, we're always here for each other, and that's what this is all about. And I just love being here with all of you, and then just sharing ourselves with the world.
Bella, I love that. I think that that is such a powerful statement. So many things, you know, people use so many different things to get in their way to not fulfill their
Yeah.
dreams. And, you know, I think that's the power we have right now. You're right. We're not the big celebrities. You know,
Nope.
right now I'm doing a little
Just
series.
average ladies.
Absolutely. I'm doing a little series
Yep.
about influencers, and how jokingly I told someone a year ago, I'm going to be an influencer. And this person said to me, oh, okay. Sure. Whatever. But then you
But we are
realize,
in a lot of ways.
You're
We
already
are.
I
doing
mean,
it.
that's just it.
Yeah.
You realize that you don't have to be the celebrity to actually have the influence. And that's where we are right now. And to be able to just, assist and help others and support them through their journeys, it's amazing. So I'm going to release this recording on my podcast probably the week of Thanksgiving. And I always start to reflect on where I'm going and what I'm looking at for the upcoming year. And I used to do these big, ridiculous resolutions. I don't know about you ladies.
Yes.
I'd be like, okay, I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. I'm going to run a full marathon this year. I'd do these big things, and then I'd be like, in the gym or out on the trails, and I'd see everybody out there. And then by the end of January, crickets, nobody would be out
Hey,
there.
we're all your accountability
Yeah,
partners.
yeah. So, a few years ago, I just stopped doing that and I just pick the one word. I'm the big one word, and I do it at my campus, and my teachers do it, my students do it. I do it, my daughter does it. And I think I've been thinking about my one word for 2023. And I'm really thinking the word's going to be elevate. And I was thinking about that because not only do I want to elevate, me and in the influence I have and the impact I have on others, but to elevate others to be able to do exactly what it is they want to do. Even if it's something totally off the wall, as long as it's not illegal, I'm going to be there to help you. So
I love
ladies,
that, Cheri.
if you had a word going into 2023, what do you think your word might be?
I know
Mine is
what really.
promise.
Oh, go ahead, CJ.
No, nobody wants to speak.
Mine-
I said promise.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
Did you say
So-
promise?
I did, because I've made a lot of promises to myself to be true to myself all the time. And there were some times I fell short. And so this year I've made that promise to myself that I will not fall short. And if I do, I will just keep stepping until I get to where I want to be. I think that because we are just everyday women, that we are that much more relatable.
Yeah.
And
I
that
agree.
that is a lot of our superpower, that despite what everybody thinks, we just kept going. And you know,
And
love
that
it.
in
I
itself
love it.
is empowering. Yeah.
yeah.
That in itself is so empowering.
Yeah.
And I think that people who look at us across the board and they see us, we're just everyday normal
Yeah.
women that they can relate to. And most people, if I see a celebrity or an influencer, I'm like, I can't be that person. I don't want to be that person. But when I see you guys, it's like, you guys do elevate us. You do, you do inspire me. It's like, I want to be more like you, so I think that is just going to have huge impact on everybody because we are so relatable.
CJ, what do you think your one word's going to be?
My word is going to be integrity. And it's going to be being integrity with myself. When I say that I'm going to do something, when I say that I'm going to set boundaries, when I say that I'm going to, really grow and expand for myself, I'm going to hold myself to that, because there's a lot of times where, you make deals with the devil, so to speak, to get things done. And it's not really living in integrity with my values and my morals. And for me, that's my word for 2023, is just to be in integrity with who I am as a woman and hold steady to that.
I love it.
Love it.
All right, Bella, what's your one word?
I have a few.
We
Bella, you
said
get
one, Bella. One word, Bella.
Well, it's related. So I have an adjective. For me,
Gotta love it.
one of the years, I do the same thing, Cheri, so thanks for asking. One of the years was intuition, and that's what really helped me learn more about myself, because I really focused on that. And now I'm helping people raise their vibration and stay in the high vibe. So that's why I say it's 2 words, because it's high vibe for me. But then the other one is just playing big, because I have played small all this time and I still feel like I'm playing small, and that's what I want to push myself. So sorry, 4 words.
That's all right. We'll give it
Okay,
to
honey.
you, Bella. Well, ladies, I do have to say this has been amazing. I think we've become I feel so connected to y'all. Like we've never met
Yeah.
each other in person, and we have so many things in common and just so many connections, and it's just amazing and unbelievable. But I appreciate you taking time today. I know for the listeners out there, and yes, the book, Unleash Her, don't forget about the book. Don't forget to order it. But for all of our listeners, we've been talking about the future and how we can have impact on everyone and be there for you and provide space for you to even just build your own skills with our support. So stay tuned for that. But each of you ladies, we're about to be out of time, but if you'd like to quickly just tell everyone where people could reach out to you. And then, of course, we'll give information about the book. So you can find me at findagirlandherdog.com. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, A Girl and Her Dog. Or you can just look up Cheri Dixon. I am there. CJ?
Awesome. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, CJC Boyd. So
Beautiful. Andra?
I'm everywhere, so we're just gonna stick to Facebook. Andreanette and poundstogo.com.
Oh, I love that.
Beautiful. And Bella.
I am on Instagram and Facebook mainly. I just opened up a LinkedIn. I am Bella Bliss, and you can probably find me as Cheri's friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
But you could always write me at yoursoulpassion@gmail.com if you want to reach out.
Beautiful. And our book is on Amazon, or I know you can reach out to any one of us ladies and get your own signed copy, which is very exciting.
And we also have a book signing coming up. Anybody in California or that wants to fly to California, we have a book signing on December 10th in San Diego. So you can get with Cheri or any one of us, and we'll get you the information.
Absolutely. And I
anybody
will
thinking
put,
of,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, or anybody thinking about being in an anthology or writing your book, I highly suggest using She Rises, because they've really embraced us like family. And this vision Hannah had is just unbelievable. And anything she puts her hand on is gold. So I would be looking for her and her daughter,
Hannah and
Adriana.
Adriana.
Yeah,
Yes.
Adriana,
Absolutely.
Luna.
100%.
And I will put everything into the show notes of all the information that y'all need if you're listening to Strong Inside and Out, so that you can have the links there or the information to guide you in the right place. So thank you, ladies. I have to say,
Thank
I
you
know
for
that
having us.
I'm a people person and I deal with people all day, but I love you girls. I mean, you are just amazing.
Love you.
And
No.
it's been just a great time. And have a great rest of your Sunday. And for all the listeners out there, stay tuned for more, because I think we're going to be a powerhouse here, these women that I'm spending time with and working with. And you just never know what's to come. So thanks again. And everyone have a great rest of your day.
Hey,
Thank
thank you
you
so
guys.
much.
Bye. Have a great day.